Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. What an amazing week it's been. I think rain's in the forecast for the weekend, but we have had an amazing week. What hasn't been amazing is the markets. First time in a couple of months now reporting, hey, markets are down a little bit. So what's going on? So the Dow last week closed at 47,700. This week it's down 46,600. It's down over 1,000 points. A lot of data coming out, and that is a little bit slow because of the government shutdown. A lot of the stuff is considered non-essential, like, hey, what's going on with employment and jobs and things like that. So we're seeing some layoffs come in. Consumer sentiment is down, lower than it's been in a long time. Tech took a hit this week, and that's been leading the way, all year. Really, for the last 3 years, tech has been doing incredibly well. Well, some of the big tech guys took a little bit of a hit, and that has an impact on the whole market. So, like I said, layoffs, government shutdown, some of that stuff is catching up. Consumer sentiment, which is really important to the markets, is low right now. So people aren't spending. So markets down about 1,000 points. The 10-year Treasury last week was 4.1. This week it's right at 4. The VIX index, which measures volatility, 17 last week. This week's 21. Hasn't been in the 20s in a while. I can't remember the last founder message where it was 21. So what's that mean? Hey, things are volatile. A lot of red in all the markets. So it was the Nasdaq, it was the Dow, it was the S&P 500. Everything was down a little bit. But look, we've had 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row of over 20%. Last week when we talked, the market was up over 16%. We finished 3 years in a row 20% and then plus, and then 50, say we end up 15% above. That doesn't happen very often. We're probably going to have a pullback. Expect that, plan on it. The market doesn't usually go up 4 years in a row as much as it's gone up. So that's something to just be aware of. And even though things seem to be going good, I mean, take out this week, but you're not going to have every week where we're hitting new records like we have the last couple of months. It's just something to keep in mind that, hey, it's a good time to take a look and say, do we need to reallocate, take some of the chips off the table? If we've been in the markets and done really, really well, we want to take a look at that, right? It just makes good sense. So just wanted to kind of touch base on that and not firing a warning shot, just saying, hey, the market tends to repeat itself, or sometimes we say it rhymes. So, last time we saw markets as hot as they've been were prior to the dot-com bust. And then we saw what happened. It was the late 90s. We saw what happened in 2001 and '02. So it's just something to be aware of. We always say history doesn't tend to repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Just make note of that. And so we want to make sure we're properly allocated. You guys have good plans. We're good in terms of risk. We just want to talk about that. Before I jump into the birthdays, I want to give a, excuse me, an update on our gala. We've had 2 live trips of released. You can go to our Facebook page and see them. One is Porto, Portugal. That is going to be 2 adults, 5 nights. It includes sailing, also includes port tasting. That one is sponsored by U.S. Energy. Our other trip that's being released this weekend is Lake Tahoe. It's a skiing trip for 2 adults, 4 nights. It includes your lift tickets every day. And that was being sponsored by Cedar Street. There is more to come. That is going to be really fun. No, I'm not going to have a health tip this week, but I'll have a health tip next week. I didn't get too much back on the ice baths. I don't know if people just said, Brian, you're crazy. We ain't doing that. But maybe I'll find something a little more popular and try, something that's like hot tub, sauna, something like that, steam, yoga, meditation, benefits of that, fasting. That's not fun. But I'll try to pick up a healthy tip for next week. So tune in for, some kind of healthy tip on that. I don't know if people really enjoy that, but if you don't want any healthy tips, just send me an email and say, hey, just give us the update with the markets and the birthdays. We're good. I'm A-okay with that. I just thought I'd share some of that stuff with you guys. All right, guys, without further ado, we kick off our first week in November. Here are the birthdays. John H., Tom H., Bill L., David A., Bill F., Darlene C., John D., Juliana E., Jackie S., Sherry C., Adrian K., Marina E., Bill V., John R., Jennifer M., Arun S., Raghavendra K., Beverly B. Apologies if I messed up your name, Raghav. Messed it up. So Kenneth R., Bob D., John B., Mary C., and today we've got a bunch of birthdays. Big Friday. Jake B., Tiffany A., Champa M., Peggy G., Tony S., Priscilla H., and Mers T. Tomorrow we've got two, Luis C. and Barbara C. I hope you guys all have an amazing birthday and birthday week. Enjoy the weekend. I hope the rain stays away and we continue to get what I would call the absolute best fall weather that we could get. Until next week, guys, God bless and take care. Make an amazing day. Have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.